Now, recently, I was completely humbled by an issue, and I didn't even know it was an issue, and that would be YouTube invalid traffic. I'm not going to get into too much. There are videos about it. I will link those below. I don't even want to put them at the end because it's just so much drama. However, basically there were just some issues with my YouTube channel and monetization and all of the things. But what was revealed to me is something that perhaps you can relate to. I took way too much on as far as commitments and just things that I thought I could do. I'm in my greenhouse because it makes me feel better. Now, the arrogance was actually basically just in myself and almost not even realizing that I was like a human who had limitations. I'm a mom, I'm a nurse, I'm a YouTube creator. I am a person who does a lot of things, and sometimes I'm just not self-aware that I can take things on for myself, which is just hilarious because I had a friend who was like, I'm surprised of all people that you're like this, given what you tell people. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm not arrogant in the sense that I'm just like, this is for you guys and I'm better than that. No, I'm just so used to running. I just did not know my own limitations. Now that's funny because I am a minimalist and I often tell people, make sure your plate is not overcrowded. And yet I did it and I didn't even realize it. I was left completely burnt out, crying on my bathroom floor. I made a video because I was just so upset and I had to share it with you guys about the whole YouTube situation, but I literally never thought I would be one of those people crying on YouTube, and there I was. And to make matters worse, I suddenly became flooded with anxiety constantly in my stomach. Now, this is very rare for me. And anytime I do get anxiety, I start to feel like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for all those people I know with anxiety. So if that's you, my heart goes out to you. And I'm going to share with you my favorite way to tackle anxiety later. But another thing that can help is therapy. Now, I think it's pretty darn funny that today's video sponsor is BetterHelp. And BetterHelp is personalized online therapy. And oh boy, it is absolutely perfect for me right now. Now, I first used it last summer when my son was moving away from home. And now my therapist can help me with my 2024 goals of reducing my stress. BetterHelp can match you to one of over 30,000 therapists in their network based on your needs and location, which gives you access to a wider range of expertise than might even be available in your city. Now, it is super easy to get matched with a therapist. You fill out a questionnaire with questions like what challenges you're going through and the kind of therapist you prefer. And then in most cases, you're actually going to be matched with your therapist in like 48 hours. And you can schedule to meet at times that work for you. You can do it via phone call, video chat, or even messaging. I actually started out with the messaging and I thought it was really helpful. And you can switch therapists with just a click if the therapist isn't a great fit either. Now, a lot of people who watch my videos, they struggle with issues relating to letting things go. And so often, it is my opinion that a therapist could probably help you with that. And then you can finish decluttering your house. Wouldn't that be nice? Plus, they can help you deal with other things. So join over 4 million people who've used BetterHelp to start living a healthier, happier life. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/minimalisthome. And clicking on this link also helps support this channel, and it also gets you 10% off your first month of BetterHelp so that you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. So, I was having a lot of anxiety, and since all of this started, I was having trouble sleeping, and just no matter what I did, it was just like coming to me in waves, and I was like, oh, like I was having like stomach pain. It just took me back to being bullied in high school. It's a whole thing. Anyway, now I truly believe that this was probably a message from God. Even if it's not completely resolved, I think that message was that I need to do less. Now, I am not one of those people that realizes things quickly. I'm really slow, and I feel like I almost have to be hit upside the head to figure stuff out. And now, but Robyn, you might say, I want to do the things and declutter my home. How can I do it all? Well, I have the answer for you right now. and this is what I've had to do. You got to pick something and other things need to go on hold. Now, I get it. It is hard because my ADHD brain absolutely loves new things and it wants to try all the things. The thing is, trying new things, taking on new things, the actual like overcommitting can be kind of insidious. And let me tell you, getting to the decluttering phase is going to be easy when you realize this. So if you start to take on new things and you're excited and you think, I can do this, I can do that, just realize that you might be unaware of your own limitations. Plus, you might also be perhaps making some energy issues for yourself as far as like, maybe you're like trying to hide from being able to relax and from sitting down. I know for me, that could have been the thing. I went to nursing school. I had 3 little boys and they were 5, 3, and 1 when I started. And I found it very hard to sit down after I graduated 4 years later because I literally went to school for 4 years and I had little kids. And then life, once it started slowing down, then I would make it pick up again. So I have 3 tips for you in this realm. So number 1, the first thing I realized was the more I try to control things, the worse. Now I am trying to control nothing or as little as possible, except for my own actions. That's actually the only thing I can't control. The second thing is that less is more in stuff, obviously, but also with commitments. Because for me, I want to be able to have that downtime to relax with my family, to not be starting to feel super anxious. And even just thinking about it now just makes my stomach be like, you're anxious. And the third thing is to realize that things can be paused. And this is so important. Things can go on the back burner and that is okay. If you want to declutter your home, realize that it is a project. I think that is the best way for you to look at it. So often, people think that decluttering their home is just something they do on weekends. They're organizing. I always used to say, I'm just going to organize the kids' toy or I'm going to organize the garage. No, this is a project. And think about it this way. If you were starting a project, you wouldn't, well, you'd be smart not to take other things on. So for me, I want to get chickens. I want to get bees, but in the meantime, we're putting a fence around this garden, and I realize now is not the time. I know that I cannot do all the things I want to do without removing something. Something has to be removed from my plate. So that's what I've done. Here's how to look at what you're doing or decluttering as a project. Imagine you're renovating your kitchen. You're taking it apart. You're doing the floors. You're getting new cupboards. Like you're doing everything. Would you perhaps put a thing or two on hold? If you were renovating your kitchen, you wouldn't start a new hobby. I mean, for me, it would be tempting to, but I would resist that urge. But no, it wouldn't be a good idea. It wouldn't be a good idea, say you're renovating your kitchen, to suddenly start coaching your son or your grandson's softball team. No, it would not. We need to change our approach. We need to remove things. Now, I also make sure that there is time for what I love. And I like baking. I like gardening. My anxiety is so much better when I actually spend time doing what I want. And I think it's so important for you to make sure that you actually, when you're removing things, make time in your schedule for these things. So when you're removing things from your to-do list and you're like, okay, these commitments are too much, I've decided to put this on hold, that you remember you still need time for things that you enjoy. Things like baking or gardening, or if you hate those things, because so many people I know do, something else that you really, really like. And also time for your family, because socializing, spending time with our family is so important for us. So today, for example, I have a to-do list like so many of us do. But one of the things I realized is I really wanted to make these lemon swig copycat cookies. Now my family is probably going to complain because they're going to be like, I don't want lemon cookies, but I'm like, I don't care. I felt like making these cookies, so I made sure that I could fit it into my schedule. Now, another very important thing, if you are trying to declutter your home and you have removed those things, you need to know how to declutter properly. Check out this video here because I get into my entire decluttering strategy. I hope something great happens for you today. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you to those people who have joined my channel memberships. And also make sure that you're subscribed because YouTube has unsubscribed people from tons of channels, so just make sure. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.